China now has continuous at-sea deterrent patrols taking place in these protected bastions in the South China Sea. I have not heard of any public reporting that suggests that China has at-sea deterrent patrols taking place in the Indian Ocean per se. However, we do know from reports by the Defense Intelligence Agency going back a decade that China has in fact deployed submarines to the Indian Ocean region, including its nuclear-powered attack submarine in 2014. What that suggests to me is that China does have an interest in having an undersea presence. But the question is, why would China want to deploy its nuclear-powered attack submarines in that part of the world? I think there are good reasons to have an undersea presence in the Indian Ocean for China's future naval development. That includes, for example, needing a nuclear attack submarine to serve as a screen for Chinese carrier strike groups that will likely be operating in the Indian Ocean in the future. I think that China has these growing blue water ambitions, and I think one of them is to have a carrier strike group that will be rotating in and out of the Indian Ocean. And to do that, China probably needs to have a nuclear attack submarine to accompany that carrier strike group. Nuclear-powered submarines may also have a role in terms of conducting commerce raiding in times of war. It might also be used to protect China's sea lanes in times of crisis or conflict if a hostile power would seek to conduct a distant blockade against China. So I think there are good reasons for China to want to deploy submarines in that part of the world. Now, the question as to whether China would want to deploy its SSBNs in the Indian Ocean, I think is a separate set of questions, and I think that is going to be a much more sort of complicated question to answer, because you really do have to think about the other legs of the nuclear triad. So that would include China's land-based missile forces as well as its air-based, air arm in terms of delivering nuclear weapons. And China's land-based missile force is increasingly mobile. They're all rolled mobile. All of their ICBMs are carried, or many of their ICBMs are carried by rolled mobile platforms. That gives them a significant amount of survivability. And so, is that enough? Is the land-based arm of China's nuclear arsenal enough to shore up its deterrent with regard to South Asia? So I think it's thinking through the mix of forces that the PLA currently possesses, and to what extent deployment in the Indian Ocean adds to that deterrent posture, I think is worth asking.